Woman in Ram. Today I am Pastor D, and I'm so excited. Once again, I'm always excited to be right here with you on this network because we have great things for you, because I know that God is taking you through a process that you may become all that He has created for you to be. No longer is it acceptable for you to be who you have become, but to discover the new you of who He created you to be. It's not new to Him, but it's new to you. So you were here with us on last week, and I was with this powerful woman, a Dunamis woman, the one and only, Lynetta Parks.
The one and only.
The one and only, Lynetta Parks. You know what, Lynetta, if anyone has missed an opportunity to be in a relationship with you, they have missed a golden opportunity.
Wow.
I have adopted an acronym that I heard this awesome man of God speak about poor. And many people are poor because they pass over opportunities repeatedly.
Wow, that's so true.
And oftentimes we're looking for this opportunity. If many people will get an opportunity to meet Oprah or some of the well-known powerful women, they'll be like, oh, I got an opportunity.
Yes.
But to miss you is to miss an opportunity.
Wow.
That's why God said, I'm going to make your name great. And oftentimes we wait for people for their name to become great to think of as an opportunity.
That's true.
But at one point, Oprah's name wasn't as great as it is now.
That's the truth.
And I know many people missed over that opportunity.
Yeah.
So we look at where we're going, where we are, but we have a tendency to forget where we're going.
That's true.
So I apologize for every woman who missed, or every man who has missed an opportunity to get to know you, to go through those journey and those processes with you. And that's what it's about. And all your pain and all your idiosyncrasies and all the stuff is when we abort relationships.
It's so true. I talked about it a little bit on the testimonial on how we're so focused on the destination we miss the journey. We do it. For everybody who's missed it with me, I've missed some as well. You know, that's why I love that God tells us He'll restore the years. How He gives us that opportunity in most cases to reconcile and restore what is necessary for purpose. So.
And you know what? That's why timing is so critical.
Yes.
Because if I had have known you maybe 20 years ago, the timing wouldn't have been right. Because I promise you, you would have got on my nerves.
Ooh.
We would have been the women rolling each other's eyes and that dissension.
Snapping
and who she thinks she is. I'm going to church. You know what I'm saying? Because I wasn't ready for you.
That's true.
You know,
and I wasn't ready either. I wouldn't have understood power or anything like that. Thank God for Jesus, and 20 years later.
And thank God for that. And now, you know, I have to be mature enough to allow you to go through your process.
Yes.
I have to be mature enough. Someone got to be the forerunner based upon their maturity.
That's
so in this woman-to-woman relationship, because of things that I have come to understand, I had to be the mature one in some cases to allow you to go through those processes as you were needing your soul.
Exactly.
And coming to recognize I need me.
Right.
I need to look inside my soul as someone presents this stuff to me, and that would be me, to need, massage, cultivate for me, and not look for someone else to do it. And that's what you've been doing.
Yeah, you know what, Pastor D, and I think for so many people we miss it, even that yielding part. Because you said you had to be mature enough to administer. But especially as women, and not only women, but definitely single mothers, and I'm doing all of this, and I'm frying the bacon, and I'm cooking it, and I'm bringing it home to the kids, and I don't need a man, and yada, then we mess up. And we get to that point where we have a problem yielding to anybody because we fought to the point of independence. Where independence is a bad. But come to realize, once you begin that process of needing, and once your soul gets to the place where you begin to be healed, that God created us for interdependence, and He created us to be at that place, to be secured, to be protected by a man, you know, and just that yielding process that comes with that by submitting to Him and the man submitting to God, and we miss that, and then we're angry because we don't have it, and then we lash out on each other, and we miss that opportunity.
We miss that opportunity. And we've missed a whole lot of opportunities. But now, like you stated, God is restoring some of the years. I will never go back to chronologically being 25 again, although I may be 28 now. Never go back to that. But He will restore those years and bring my life back and rejuvenate me. That I literally feel like I am 25. Girl, and I am loving it.
I do feel so much better in my life now. And when people say, oh, you're beautiful and you're radiant, and I think about those years of 25, 26, 27, dark years, angry years. And feeling older than I was. I might have looked a certain way, but just inside my soul, it was just black and old. But now, the vibrancy that comes, and as a result, being able to draw other people in on that radiance, it's just amazing.
Yes. But you in your process of coming to understand what's one of the main, in Emotional Healing Clinic, we have a lot of topics that we have learned about.
Yes.
And I thank God for Him calling me to teach from a clinical as well as a biblical perspective, that the two may come together to bring healing to the soul. And I have been, I'm by profession a clinical therapist and have taken those steps to earn that right.
Yes.
But from a standpoint of being out there in the secular field, we actually know how to deal with those things and bring a diagnosis.
Right.
And then I have been privileged to be able to counsel in the church, and we know the scriptures.
Yes.
So they quote that very well. And so these two are divided. It's a big gap.
Definitely,
It's a big gap.
It is.
So bridging that gap, that we may build wholesome relationships. And that's the part of Dunamis Woman now and all what we do.
Right.
So that gap for you has to been bridged.
Yes.
What was the main topic that you had to, that really literally just started this process of you needing yourself?
The main process for me, honestly, had to do a lot with codependency. And I didn't know the word at the time, once we started the studying or whatever, but this need to be needed. And by the time that I had come here, I had gotten out of a relationship, and I had been out of it for a minute, but the devastation of it had been so intense because I poured so much, my heart, my soul, my body, my money, and came up with nothing on the other side.
Correct.
And I mean, it was 3 years of bitterness that brought me to the point where I'm just like, I have to do something, because I was at the point where if you stepped on my toe in the elevator, I was just ready to shoot you.
Right.
I'm like, when you get to that point, you need to do something about it. But I needed to be needed, and I didn't tend to any of my needs. It was like, shut all your needs down. You don't matter. But if you take care of other people, then that's what's going to bring your life joy. And when you're in, a lot of times, ministry, where it's not focused on the fact that everybody's a leader and everybody has something to give, then it's so easy to get lost in it. It's really easy to get lost in it, and then you start serving, and I was a deacon for several years, and being a part of all of that, and then my kids, so I'm giving to everybody else, giving to everybody else, giving to everybody else, not identifying my needs, putting all my needs to the side. Oh, it doesn't matter once the kids grow up, or once you're done with this, and I just start the whole thing, where you go from deacon, then you go to minister, then you go to minister, maybe something else, and then just life of giving to other people and never thinking about, okay, what do you need? Are your needs being met?
And I'm sitting up here thinking, you're just talking about going from deacon to minister, all that, and then you get to the point where they ordain you. And so now I'm thinking, like, the only thing they're ordaining is a lot of codependency. Ordaining a lot of issues.
Right.
I'm feeling a lot of this stuff that you operate out of that.
Exactly.
And the codependency is that, it's nothing wrong with serving.
Not at all.
There's nothing wrong with that, because that's the greatest leader, our Lord said,
Indeed.
is first to serve.
That's true.
But it's out of how I'm executing.
Exactly.
So now am I walking on eggshells about what people think? Having the inability to say no when a yes is warranted.
Exactly.
James talking about, in I believe it's in the 5th chapter, let your yea be yea and your nay be nay.
Right.
But I'm supposed to be saying no to what I'm saying yes to.
Yes.
And I'm supposed to be saying yes to what I'm saying no to.
Are we really executing in truth? Are we coming from a place of, because when we think about Jesus' ministry, period, so much controversy. Jesus told the truth. This is what it is. This is what you're doing. Now I have what you need, but I'm going to tell you where you are.
Correct.
And so many times you don't want to do that. And me especially. People pleasing. I see it so much how it was with my children. I was definitely that way. And a lot of things that I should have been correcting, I kind of let stay at a certain place. So now I see them now going through their processes, because at that point I wasn't able to really deal with them from a total aspect. It was overcompensation. It was the guilt and the shame. In my son's case, it was the absence of the father. So I'm trying to overcompensate that with things and just, all this affection and all that.
Some of these folks are still treating their children like they 2 at 16 and 18.
Exactly.
Because I don't want to hurt you.
Exactly.
I'm overcompensating for my pain. Does that make sense?
And I don't want to see you have to go through anything. I don't want to see you. But now realizing as I'm looking on my journey that so many of the things that I had to go through, and so many of the things that I had to think my way out of it is who's developed me into who I am now. But had I just been like, somebody bail me out and, oh no, you can stay here, you can do this, you can do that, then I wouldn't even be developed to the point that I am. So I was really robbing my son and my daughter to a certain degree of an opportunity to even see what was on the inside of them, because I was always being the
trying to make it up.
Exactly.
I recall when we were having a conversation earlier, you was just talking about a process that you were in, that, he still had a paper to do at school. I'm talking about a senior, a junior, you know what I'm saying? And he still had a paper to do, you know, and talk about it. And you can tell your story better than I can.
Okay, so my son is now, he'll be going into his senior year. This is the end of the school year. He needed to do a paper for school. And I was asking, what do you have to do for finals? And he's like, oh, I don't have a final in that class. So I get a call from the teacher. And the teacher is like, well, no, he didn't have a final. However, he had this paper. If the paper's not turned in, he's going to be at summer school. So immediately, you kind of get that disappointment and that anger, but the mommy mode tries to kick in. And then I just really click, like, there's no mommy mode. This boy 18 years old.
Right.
He created this situation, and he had the resources to produce. He failed to do it. Now it's going to be up to him to figure it out. Exactly. So, but before that, I was ready to shift my whole plan, find somewhere for him to go, because the technology wasn't right in the home. So go out, find somewhere, take him, and then I had to just come to myself, and I had to come back to my place of what I'm learning in terms of empowering him to make his own decisions, but then also not to put my life and my purpose on hold. So I said, son, you're going to have to do the best you can. You're going to have to work it out, find a way, let me know when you do it. Because I was on my way to a function, and he was supposed to be going with me. So my son was standing there with his phone in his hand and utter shock as I was driving away. And for me, that was true growth and development.
But did you feel the pull?
I did.
Trying to pull you back?
I did. I almost pulled over in that curve and said, come on, boy, whatever. But then he's not a boy. No. He's a man. And if I wanted to continue to develop. I mean, this is a young man at 8 years old who told me, Mom, I'm going to be a successful young man. And I think a lot of boys especially show their mother. God gives them a glimpse of where he's trying to take them. But then we hinder it. We pull them close to the bosom. And, oh, baby, my baby, my baby. He's not a baby. No, he's a man. And I have to allow him to be that. So he was a little devastated, but he worked it out.
But the thing is, he was shocked.
Yeah,
he was shocked. Because I'm seeing this woman ain't do what I thought she was going to do. And the thing about it is that just to use that case scenario, which is real talk, he had an opportunity.
He did.
But he made a decision.
Exactly.
And he missed that opportunity, so now he got to make a decision to get it back.
Exactly.
To get back what was stolen from me because I didn't make a decision.
Exactly.
That's how we as believers, God let us go through our process. You missed that opportunity. I ain't going to just give you something because you're praying for it.
That's
you got to now go get it back.
That's right.
And so you did not enable him.
Exactly.
You had to choose enablement versus empowerment. Enablement versus empowerment. And you had to put your feelings aside.
Exactly.
Because that's what the enemy pulls on, is our feelings.
Yes.
And let me tell you something. I'm going to shock some consciousness.
Don't shock it. I'm used to it.
They're ready for it, huh?
I don't know.
You were the mother.
Yes.
And you had to put a demand on him. But if you had not, that mother would have been enabling him.
Yes.
Now he would have encountered a woman.
Yes.
But you'll never be his woman.
Exactly.
So we as women are reaping the consequences. Come on now.
This is the truth.
Of what the mother did not do. That baby in him.
That's right.
Now we got men.
That's right.
That's looking for us. You're not going to do this. So now we do these things to keep the behaviors in the home peaceful.
Exactly.
Come on now.
Exactly.
We do these things. I don't want to make my man mad.
Exactly.
Because now I got to deal with the anger and the consequences. So God is breaking all of us from this codependency.
This is so true.
You know what I'm saying?
And in terms, we're studying now, so we're learning the difference between the male and the man.
And the man.
So we're dealing in a lot of things with these male aspects and trying to keep the peace. And not realizing that we're stunting the developmental growth as far as man is concerned. Like I said, even in the relationships. And I mean, I can look back now on several different. Like I said, I just don't want to make a man. I want to be there. I want him to hold me. This, that, and other.
And then we hold them.
Yeah.
We have sex with them.
Yes.
And we want to keep them happy.
Indeed.
And we're dying where? On the inside. And it's not about going to one extreme to do this and then we're going to break ship. You know what I'm saying? It ain't about that. It's about staying in that middle lane. And learning the balance of how I can't do nothing more for you until I first do it for myself.
That's true.
And I love it because we talk about, and we talked about this in one of the sessions, Proverbs 31.
Yes.
Because it's like, oh, I'm a virtuous woman. I'm a virtuous woman. And we use that passage for virtuous woman, but we fail to realize that King Lemuel was recounting and revisiting the things that his mother spoke to him.
That's
Come
right.
on now, his mother prophesied to him.
That's right.
Don't give yourself to strong drink. Don't give yourself to all these women. Take your responsibility. Do what you're supposed to do, because this kind of man can find a virtuous woman. Come on now.
That's exactly the truth.
So what the mother does, and that's why Empowerment Clinic, get these boys off your titties.
National TV, get them off the TV.
Get them off of it.
Most definitely.
You know what I'm saying? Because we as women, I'm inheriting what the mother did not do.
That's true.
You know, and now I'm in love because, you know, he has a nice way of making me feel in the bedroom. And now I'm becoming emotionally depleted. And time you don't get what you want, you get the attitude. You get the attack. So you're preserving.
Exactly.
I'm saying all this because putting a demand on your son, you're preserving a woman.
From having to deal with
From experiencing the pain.
Right, that I've experienced. And then understanding that I want my son to receive his wife and to find his wife based on my wholeness.
Because that type of man will find a virtuous woman. Does that make sense?
Yes, it will.
Because he's powerful. But many women are attracted to the handsomeness and the fineness and the physique of a man that we're attracted to. But fail to realize that down on the inside, they're angry little boys.
Indeed, yes.
And so that's why I empower women. Even in our prayer, Lord, particularly married women, let the boy be healed, that the man may live.
Yes, because we need, we're part of that. The man,
we're part of that day-to-day process. I can pray all day long, but God got to strengthen me to do some things different.
Exactly.
If you keep doing the same thing, let me speak into that camera and say this. If you keep doing the same thing, whether it's with your son, your nephew, your brother, your father, or your husband, you're going to keep getting the same results. You got to do something different in order to experience a change of life. And that's what we're learning right here in Emotional Healing and Empowerment Clinic. Am I right, Lynetta?
You're absolutely right. That's exactly
And I would rather have the pain of change than having the pain of staying the same.
I know.
Come on now.
Many years.
Many
staying the same, and now the pain of change is growth.
It is growth.
Really, the pain of change comes down to growth. So I see the growth not only in myself, but I see it in my son. I see it in my daughter. And that is enough to just continue on in the process. Because the processes are lifetime. But I mean, the reward of it is just phenomenal.
And the reward of it. And many people, you know, I had a gentleman in my past, particularly when I first started ministry, was challenging me. You know, I don't see the change in these people or whatever, because he was looking at it, first of all, from a tangible point. I don't see a change where they get new cars. I don't see a change where they get new houses or whatever. And his thought and his mind was so punitive that he didn't understand the internal change. That we have to really make those changes. Some women just didn't know how to turn on a computer. Some women don't know how to relate to their children. Some women don't. That's stuff that has to be dealt with in our home. You want God to give you a whole lot of stuff out here for your ministry, your business, or whatever. But let me tell you something. Be powerful enough to do what you got to do for you to change the things that's in your home and to change your life. I am Pastor D, and I am honored to be in your presence because I am adamant that we as women need emotional healing. You don't know my story yet. I will tell you that at a later date, but I want to take this time to invite you to come to our emotional healing and empowerment clinics. So many women cross my path, and they're not even realizing how damaged they are. But yet some of them do, but they don't want to take the time to deal with some of the things that God is only going to use to exuberate their power, that dunamis power that lies within. So give us a call. I'll be happy to sit with you, give you a free consultation, invite you to the clinics, come out and just be a part of this dunamis woman body. I meet women of all races and ages, economical statuses, and all of them are the same, bruised and damaged, but they are destined for greatness. So that's why we're here, Dunamis Women in Ram International Ministries, understanding your greatness and the power you possess. I look forward to hearing from you. Understanding your greatness and the power you possess. Lynetta, many people don't realize, in order for them to really gain an understanding, God has to tear down.
Ooh.
Stay with me, girl.
I'm here.
To tear down a lot of those blameless, those mental processes. I love His Word because putting His Word into personal application, the key word was what? Personal. That means I have to know how to apply it with specificity for my life.
My life, indeed.
I'm a woman, you're a woman.
Yes.
We both have hips, we both have breasts, we both was built
Yes.
by God.
Mm-hmm.
However, it's a uniqueness about us.
Indeed.
And when you get the word with specificity for you,
Mm-hmm.
that scripture or that process or that teaching in certain avenues or angles may not be exactly for you. You could take it, but now you need a little bit more.
Exactly.
So when we hear at the clinics, it allows us to participate.
It does.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes, most
To
definitely.
see, okay, I heard what you're saying,
Mhm.
and I heard the word, Pastor D, and it's very much true. But you got to break it down just a little bit
Just
for
for
me.
me. Exactly.
For me.
Exactly.
Talk about that needing me for me, and breaking that down, tearing that stuff down.
Indeed. Well, first of all, let me just say that the clinics, this is why it's so important to have that opportunity to come out, because the participatory setting, the fact that I can say, hey, don't gloss on past that, come on back.
Mhm.
And I can give a scenario. This is what I'm dealing with right now. This is what I see. This
Correct.
is what I said. This is what was said to me. But in doing that, taking that, you know, what we have learned all the time is that repetition is necessary if application is lacking. So the repetition, the continuing to come, the continue to deal, the continue to ask. And I can ask questions here, but then I ask of myself, and then I ask of my Father, and then even through that, so we get the information, but then taking it and getting that revelation, like you said, with specificity. We were talking a little while back, and you were sharing about how God had given you I Need Me. He had given you this vision for this, at the time you said you didn't even think it was a ministry, but He had given it to you. And then coming and going through all the emotional boot camp, I want to say, is what it has been, has gotten me to the point now of understanding my purpose. And I remember it was so funny when I first came and you were like, so what's your purpose? And I'm like, okay, I was a singer. You know, and God was blessed me with a gift to sing, and we were going through all of this, and I'm like, you know, it kind of fit at the time. I'm like, there's more, but I didn't know the more. But even having that patience with me, like we were talking about earlier, to go through that process, and as I continue to develop and continue to let go of some things, now God is revealing, okay, your purpose is to share about emotional health. It's not just a process. And we learn all the time that it's not about us, but it's for others. So all of the violations, all the hurts, all the victimization, the trauma, all the struggles of single parenting, it was not for me. But I have to look inside me to understand, why did you go through that pain? What was the purpose of it? So then I can be able to share with other women, other men, you know, real awesome men, Dunamis women, so that they're able to tap into that place, because it's all about empowering the next person, empowering the generation. We always think about the leaving the legacy, and we think about it as mama, daddy leave us $250,000 policy. That has nothing to do with legacy. Legacy is creating and building.
Girl, they're going to mess that money up before
oh my goodness, before the ground is even dry. The money is gone. Because if you haven't dealt with the damages,
they're going to use it out of their
all you're going to do, out of your pain, and you're just trying to bring yourself pleasure, you don't understand purpose. So one of the main things for me is, because I am now going through that process of emotional healing, I understand purpose. You know, my days are not working, coming home, laying down, sleeping, overeating, getting up, doing the same thing over,
going to church, singing praise and worship, coming home, going to Bible class,
exactly.
Same week
Exactly.
after week.
Exactly. Routine, mundane, get a little feel good somewhere in the process, and keep it going over and over again. No, I understand now. I have purpose. My life is bigger than what I see. But take a look inside yourself first. Continue to massage. Continue to do the inside. So as a result of that, what God has been doing and how He's building up, now He's given me the platform to be able to go out and deal with emotional healing and to be able to take it out to others. So I'm really excited about that. I'm excited about having an opportunity to minister to young women. Young women who are now detained, and just dealing with all various aspects at this point. And not only dealing with them, but the door will open to deal with their parents, because we understand that, you know, it's all together. It's all lineage is all together.
It's all together.
Really exciting.
And Lynetta, they're just seeing really one dynamic.
Yes.
Really. I don't even think one. But even now, you and your daughter, we're going to that's a whole nother show. We're going to have her here, you know, to see how the mother and the daughter relationship. And now we're discovering that your purpose is entangled with your daughter's purpose.
Line with
so now you all are going out, you know, and that's what Jesus said, go out into the highways and byways. You ain't coming to church to go and sit. You come to the church building. You are the church.
That's
Let me say
right.
this. You are the church.
Yes.
So you come to the church building to get equipped for the work of the ministry. And that's why he says in Ephesians 4, I give you the gift of an apostle, prophet, pastor, teacher. All these ascension gifts work together to build the people up, to build the church, to build the ecclesia up, that they may understand their purpose, how we strategically fit together.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, ma'am.
To go out into the highways and byways. So I need me. It's out in the, we'll come to your home.
Yes.
Put a group of women together. We'll need
Yes, it
500
will.
people.
That's right.
Trust me, I have come to love the few.
Indeed. Yes.
God had to shift my paradigm. Because you start thinking and looking at these ministries with 1,000 and all that, and it's not to dismiss that. We will grow into that point if God will.
Indeed.
But man, I can minister to 2 women, 1.
Yes.
Such as you, we having a good time right now.
Indeed.
You know what I'm saying?
We have a great
Because
time.
the Bible said, if you be faithful over a few, I'll make you rule over many.
That's right.
And when I'm gonna tell you, when you start seeing the outcomes of building a relationship and you get the powerful few, you really don't want the many. You know what I'm saying? But it's inevitable that the many will come. I don't have to desire the many.
That's right.
Because the many will come. And when it goes back to the thing that you don't want is the very thing that you want. If you want a whole lot of people in your ministry, I just believe that you want them for a purpose that got nothing to do with them. It's about you.
Exactly.
You know, because people are problems. And ask me if I want problems. You know what I'm saying? You don't want your problems. But if you ain't dealing with the people problems, you want them for a different purpose. You see what I'm saying?
So true.
You want them for a different agenda.
So true.
I ain't new here. I grew here. They count how much money in the bank.
Yeah.
And how many people they got to have. You see what I'm saying? In order to get the tithes and offerings up.
Indeed.
Nobody sponsors this show.
We just talking
Dunamis woman. So we're going to keep it real. You know, and that's not all, but that's too many. You see what I'm saying? Because laboring with the people, and that's what the word says. So I'm just so excited about our future.
Yes.
And because when God adds to this, it's going to be women and men who understand their greatness. They have a purpose for their life.
Yes.
And it may not be defined. Your singing was just a gift.
Yes.
But it wasn't who you are.
Exactly.
And now your gift enhances your purpose. So you see how that works?
I do.
You know, we will come to you. We come. We travel. We got the goods. Iowa, Wisconsin, Michigan, where you want us to go. As long as there's a flight, we'll be there. As long as there's some wheels on the tires and on the cars, we'll be there. If we got to walk, we'll be there. Jesus walked.
Yes, he did.
Come on now.
Yes,
From one city to the next.
Yes,
give us a call. I'm Pastor D. Lynetta, thank you so very much.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here, and we'll be back with you next week.